Hey, what's up, folks? It's your boy DJ81 on that channel, Skins for Life. Yeah, I know, I'm playing Division. I'm back on it a little bit. I said I was back on it before and went away from it to play other games, but I'm back on it. But what I really wanted to talk about was a question that was brought up on the Sim Standard Google Hangout last night with Smitty, Azure, and SimFBall. I urge you guys to go check them out for those that tend to view this channel. But one of the questions that was brought up was, what does Madden 19 have to have in it to guarantee your purchase? To guarantee a purchase. Okay, first of all, that's a trick question. Just my thoughts. That's a trick question. We would have to take off the guaranteed purchase because we're not salesmen here. So we're gonna get rid of that. I think the better question would have been, a better wording of that question would have been, what feature in Madden 19, what feature in Madden do you feel needs the most to get you interested in trying out the game? And I know I didn't quite hear that franchise mode was a priority as far as the opinions were concerned. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Franchise mode, it needs to be redone, period. I'm gonna use 3 words that do not describe Madden's franchise mode right now. It's neither innovative, authentic, or drives engagement. Those are words from a blog in July of this year from 2K with their My League series. For me, My League is the standard of franchise modes in the video game sports industry. There's no ifs and buts about it. I want in Madden what is in My League. We already had a great example coming from a community member, Deuce Douglas. If those that have been following the channel, I did a live stream with Christopher, who is an Eagles fan, and we did a long live stream where we broke down his blog which was from the summer of last year, which he updated earlier this year. And I urge you guys to still go check that out. It is the best example of what a franchise mode should be built on. So with those 3 words, that's where Madden loses me as far as a consumer, as far as somebody who's played the game ever since it was on PC back in the 80s. I've been playing football. I've been playing football video games ever since I was 3-4 years old. On Atari, on simple handhelds, the early Nintendo days with 10-Yard Fight, Tecmo Bowl. Like, those are the golden age football games before even Madden came along. It was even an NFL football game on Nintendo, but I digress. So those 3 words definitely do not describe Madden as it sits, because right now the way Madden presents franchise mode is as an afterthought. XP is in a lot of franchise modes, but it's not presented as the main reason and the main engine to drive the franchise mode. You have a lot of features in other games that Madden, for some godforsaken reason, does not want to, or does not prioritize in the game. And when I say Madden doesn't prioritize it, I'm talking directly to the suits, because it's just like in every other industry. When the suits get involved, they ruin it. It happens in music, it happens in movies, happens in television, happens in news agencies. It happens in anything that has any creative or any objective form. If a suit gets involved, it is corrupted. So especially with Electronic Arts being caught up in their own greed and in a lot of trouble right now. But back to the franchise mode and reel it back. Not trying to rant or anything as I try to take out this boss here. As you see, I slowly move around. But anyway. So the franchise mode in Madden is driven by XP. And XP is thrown in your face in the form of goals, in the form of, like, it's supposed to drive what type of strategy, like who gets the ball and whatnot, when all I'm trying to do is direct a franchise. Whether I'm starting with the lowly Cleveland Browns or if I'm directing my team, the Washington Redskins, to the Super Bowl. And to do it all over again and over again and over again. And what gets me to play the game for multiple years, not multiple actual real life years, I mean in-game years, multiple seasons, is what happens during the preseason, during the regular season, during the playoffs, and postseason, and off season. What features you have in place for those sections of the game for franchise mode is what keeps me involved in the game. First of all, I need a definite user-friendly user interface. That needs to change. That's just for starters. But on top of that, I need my injuries to be realistic. I need a ticker on the bottom of the screen, just like it is on My League. For those that have NBA 2K, you can actually just fire up your My League and just let it run. Just let the calendar portion, the front end, let that run. You'll see all you need to know, and you can always update it to show what you want it to show and the speed and everything. But it tells you about what's going on around the league without you having to navigate to another screen or hunt for news. And even so, the news on those in the ticker, it makes sense. In Madden, it doesn't make any sense. But I haven't even touched gameplay here, because here's the thing. We've harped on gameplay first for the longest time. And I'm not saying it's the sole reason why franchise gets ignored, but it's often used as an excuse to not harp on the franchise mode. And I've sat and I've grown tired of gameplay first being the main reason why, or not really gameplay first. The gameplay has to be right before we work on anything else. I understand that, but we can't keep saying that every single year they ignore franchise. I'm sorry. It's just not how it's going to work. It's not going to work on here. And it's been growing on me for the last couple of years. And it's been stale for longer than that. So you have free agent signings that are done correctly in My League. You have the collective bargaining agreement. I don't think it's fully integrated in 2K, but it pretty much 95% of it is there. Versus Madden, you pretty much have nothing. You can't even negotiate until after the season, when you can easily negotiate any point in time. As far as like contract numbers, what type of contract and stuff like that. When it comes to practice mode or training sessions, as they call it in NBA 2K, and scheduling practices, it shouldn't affect just two players or two sets of positions. If you want to game plan, it shouldn't just affect the quarterback, halfback, or linebackers, whatever, on offense and defense. A total of 4 positions are affected when you game plan. That's not how you game plan. When you game plan, everybody's affected. I know you get it. I know everybody gets XP or something like that, but still, I need to know that my team overall is working towards this game plan. My team is getting this XP based on the overall game plan. Now, if I specify a couple of positions, let me specify the positions that get special attention, because you already have certain players that are specified if you want to develop young players. Having a practice squad is good. That is good. But I just feel like that Madden just needs to be, as far as their franchise mode, it needs to be fast forwarded a lot. Like, we need to catch it up in 1 year. I keep hearing that it takes time. Well, I'm sorry, but time's up. Time been up. We need to fast forward this thing ASAP. We need to get this thing current day franchise mode. It can't be stuck in 2010, or actually 2011 was the last good Madden franchise mode. I don't care what anybody says on that. Madden 12 had the last best franchise mode before this team took over. And I'm not blaming this team. Again, this is aimed at the suits, because a lot of dev teams and studios have been handcuffed by the suits because they want a game that makes them money and not a good game. When all you gotta do is make a good game, you'll make a whole lot more money if the game is good. It's just that simple. Even a caveman can do it. But anyway, I digress. So I beat the boss, and the rest of the story is playing out in the division. And what else? Matter of fact, in the comment section, I want you guys to let me know if Madden 19 were to. This is gonna be a direct question. This is not gonna be an open air. We're gonna target this thing towards franchise mode. We're not talking about gameplay. We're not talking about any of that. If Madden were to work on its franchise mode, how much do you want them to throw in there in the first year that you would be satisfied to start with that as a base? Because you gotta start somewhere, but in 2 to 3 years time, that franchise mode needs to catch up with current franchise modes in other games, including NHL under its own, well, not necessarily studio, because NHL is EA Canada, but still under Electronic Arts Sports or EA Sports, that franchise mode is well ahead of Madden's franchise mode. And here's another thing. People can cry about, oh, well, the online servers are better in Madden, so, there's always a trade-off. Oh, freaking well. That's quite okay. But their franchise modes are modern. Madden's franchise mode is still antiquated. It's still lacking, regardless of how good the servers are. And honestly, I don't play online. I don't like the online bit anyway when it comes to sports games. I've played a few games within the recent last 2 years, but I prefer to play my shooters online. I have more fun with those, like Battlefields and even Fortnite, PUBG, stuff like that. I have more fun with them online than I do with any sports games. But I think we should stop right here. But like I was saying before, if Madden 19 were to start working on franchise mode hardcore, how much would you be satisfied as if they were to put if this was like a 2 to 3 year project I'm rewording the question, I'm sorry. If it were a 2 to 3 year project to work on franchise mode, what features would you be happy with as a base to start out and know that the franchise mode is heading in a good place, in a good direction? And again, comment below your thoughts. So again, this is your boy DJ81 on that channel Skins for Life. Thank you for listening. I know this was long. You suffered long enough. And I'm out. See you guys later. Peace and have a happy Friday.